Senator from West Virginia.
Madam President, I request consent to enter into colloquy with my friend Senator Cruz from Texas.
Without objection.
Without objection. Mr. President, I rise today on behalf of the 476,000 West Virginians who rely on Social Security benefits. A majority of our seniors in every state relies on Social Security benefits, and we know that we're in trouble. The Senate is considering the Social Security Fairness Act, which would repeal the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset from the Social Security benefit calculation, providing relief for many public employees who have been adversely impacted. Now, make no mistake, we have a problem. We all agree. The status quo is unfair and it penalizes millions of hardworking Americans, whether it's teachers, firefighters, police officers, among others. But we also have an obligation to honor our promises to ensure that Social Security is going to be there for the people who have paid into it and have earned it, and also those generations who come after. We can fix this problem without blowing a hole in the Social Security Trust Fund. This is a $200 billion price tag. And we can fix that without having any effect on our budget. But that's just unbelievable. No one seems to really concerned about what we have and the debt we're facing. One of my first meetings here and hearings I'd gone to, and this is in early 2011, the Armed Services Committee, I asked former Admiral Mike Mullen. I says, Chairman Mullen, he's the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, what's the greatest threat facing America? And I'm thinking I'm going to hear what the military powers around the world. He never hesitated 1 second. He said, the debt of the nation will bring us down first. The debt of our nation has brought down every major society in history. And that's exactly what we're on track to do. We have a fiscal crisis in this country right now, and no one's talking about it. On either side of the aisle, we're not talking about it. In fiscal year 2013, we had a federal spending was less than $3.5 trillion. In fiscal year 2023, 10 years later, it's $6.1 trillion. That's a 75% increase. No one can withstand that. Last year, total revenues were $4.4 trillion, which left us with a deficit of $1.7 trillion, the largest deficit in the U.S. history since the pandemic. We've been spending more than we bring in every year for the last 22 years, and the debt that has resulted from it is absolutely crippling. Most Americans couldn't even last 22 paychecks, let alone 22 years of spending more than they brought in. Years of fiscal irresponsibility have brought us to the crisis we are today, which is more than $36 trillion of national debt. That breaks down to $104,000 for every man, woman, and child in this great country of ours. $104,000 liability on every human citizen in the United States of America. And it's terrifying to think that at the end of the fiscal year, we're going to spend more on paying just the interest on our debt than we do to defend our country. This is the crisis we're facing, and we're going into this blindly, and it passed overwhelmingly with cloture at 72 votes. It's unbelievable that no one's even thinking about what we can do and how we could do it better. There's a problem. We can fix the problem. It's to governments make tough choices. I don't need to tell you all that, but however, as matters stand, we're now choosing to ignore fiscal crisis again. And if this thing hits the wall, that means it increases 6 months. It advances the insolvency of Social Security 6 more months. We're trying to figure out how that we can save Social Security. And we're not doing a thing for the people and fixing the problem we have that's within our means to do so. Our amendment would replace the Webb GPO with a proportional benefit formula, ensuring the public workers receive their appropriate benefits, which we recognize has been denied. We recognize that. Social Security Trust Fund is currently projected to become insolvent in 2033. 2033, less than 10 years. We lead the country with the highest percentage of our population receiving Social Security benefits. Texas is a tremendous amount of people in Texas depending on the same as my state of West Virginia. We need to make sure retirees are receiving their fair share, and we cannot do it at the expense of all beneficiaries and future generations. So I urge my colleagues to listen to my colleague here, my friend, my senator from Texas, and how he's come about putting this together, working together, knowing that it's something that can be done. It's a heck of a fix. We would hope that you all would support this amendment and be able to basically make a responsible, fiscally responsible fix to a very serious problem that we have, keeping the solvency of Social Security for generations to come and taking care of the generation of now that's basically depending upon it. And with that, I yield the floor to my friend.